Disney theme parks may be known as the happiest places on Earth, but their employees often see a side of the magic that guests aren't privy to. Underneath those princess gowns and oversized character heads are just regular people trying to earn a paycheck. That often means dealing with bodily fluids, creepy guests, and some seriously strict rules about staying in character no matter what. Today, we're going to take a look at 10 secrets Disney doesn't want you to know, but before we get on with the video, we would really appreciate your support if you like the video and subscribe to our channel. Now let's get on with the video. Number 10. Truly, there's a whole world underneath Magic Kingdom with the utilidors. As you enter Magic Kingdom, you're actually stepping onto the second floor of the park. The first floor is beneath you, and it covers nearly the entire park with a series of tunnels. Only cast members are allowed in this special area, and they utilize it to get around the park without being seen by guests. There's also a lot of equipment, supplies, and tech gadgets that are stored in the utilidors. They even have special areas for the cast members to eat, get haircuts, and much more. It's its own tiny town. If you see a cast members only sign in Disney World, that might be a door that leads down to the tunnels. If you want to visit them, you can sign up for a Disney tour that includes a peek at the utilidors, like the Keys to the Kingdom tour. Number 9. Disneyland has ghosts. You may find more mystery than magic at Disneyland. Numerous ghost sightings have been reported at Disneyland, and some have even been captured on camera if you can believe it. Here are some of the creepiest sightings. This video was shot at the Tower of Terror. In this footage, you can see some sort of ghost sitting on the ledge, like a ghost looking back into the ride, unless this is some sort of hologram projected on the rod. This one is really spooky. And finally, the most disturbing ghost video is perhaps this one filmed by a surveillance camera. The recording of the footage moves from camera to camera, following what initially looked like a simple reflection of light as it passes across the 4 screens, moving through gates and other solid objects. It's more evident that the happy-go-lucky park either has at least one spirit calling the grounds home or one maintenance worker with far too much time on his hands. Number 8. The Tree of Life isn't as it seems. The Tree of Life is the centerpiece of the Animal Kingdom park at Disney World. It's a giant tree that's 145 feet high, with 325 carvings of animals on it, and a 400-seat theater inside it, showing a 4D animated film called It's Tough to Be a Bug. It's a monument in nature and environmental preservation. However, the Tree of Life screen credentials are damaged somewhat because it's not really a tree. In fact, it's built from the remains of a giant oil rig. When it was built in 1998, Disney bosses wanted it to be built around a metal skeleton that would allow it to be as flexible as possible, and an old oil rig designed to withstand crashing waves seemed ideal. So Disney's homage to Mother Nature is actually a tribute to fossil fuels. Number 7. Like many big companies, Disney is very protective of its brand. However, in 1989, people thought they went a bit too far. They sued 3 children's daycare centers in Hallandale, Florida, for painting pictures of trademark Disney characters on their walls without asking for permission first. Despite being shamed by the world's media, who thought they were extremely mean, Disney refused to drop the case. Their rationale was many businesses who pay vast sums of money to use Disney characters in their advertising would object to others using them without paying. Eventually, the child care centers painted over their murals. Meanwhile, Disney's rival in the Florida theme park business, Universal Studios, told the centers they could use their characters like Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones for free. Number 6. Before Pirates of the Caribbean was a never-ending film franchise featuring a gurning Johnny Depp, it was a famous ride at Disneyland. Riders embark on a relaxing boat ride, but it's interrupted by a pack of pirates when it was built in 1967. Supervised by Walt Disney himself, the design team thought the fake skeletons strewn around the ride lacked that certain something. They called their friends at the UCLA Medical Center and asked if they had any real human bones lying around. Luckily, the medics were happy to help, and some real skulls and crossbones still decorate the ride today. While these skeletons were put there by Disney designers, a lot of human remains enter Disney theme parks more sneakily. Disney films and parks play such a vital part in many people's lives that when they die, they asked for their ashes to be scattered on Disney rides. Pirates of the Caribbean is a regular final destination. However, it's the Haunted Mansion that's the most popular last request. In fact, Disney had to install special HEPA air filters to remove the human particles from the air. Number 5. There have been some strange deaths at Disney, saying with this grisly theme. I'm really sad to report that many people have died at Disney theme parks. Most of the time, these deaths are due to pre-existing conditions such as heart attacks, strokes, that sort of thing. Sometimes, however, it's a little more unpleasant. In 1974, for instance, 18-year-old Debbie Stone was singing in a musical show at Disneyland called America Sings. However, during one evening show, theatergoers heard some terrifying screams coming from backstage. Debbie was found crushed to death between a rotating wall and the stage. Even to this day, no one knows how that actually happened. Number 4. There were brain-eating parasites in Disney World. There's a dangerous amoeba called Naegleria fowleri. If you're unlucky enough to encounter one, you're in serious trouble. It enters your body through the nasal passage, causing an infection that eats away at your brain. Naegleria fowleri is native to warm bodies of fresh water all over the world, although it's quite rare. Unfortunately, one of the areas Naegleria fowleri called home was River Country, a water park in the Disney World Resort based around a freshwater lake in 1980. The amoeba was named as the cause of death. For an 11-year-old boy, the only place he went swimming before he died, that's right, River Country. Disney, however, didn't close River Country after this tragedy, but more on that later. Number 3. Walt was an FBI informant in the 1950s. The Cold War placed two opposing ideologies in conflict with each other, the capitalist system of the United States and the communism of the Soviet Union. Both sides threatened each other with nuclear destruction. The mutual distrust was huge. In America, the government was petrified of communist spies leaned on influential businessmen to weed out communists in their companies. Walt Disney was only too happy to oblige. After all, he was a true American patriot who helped out in World War II by making propaganda cartoons. Walt Disney became one of the FBI's biggest informants, striking up a close friendship with its director J. Edgar Hoover. One of the people Disney reported on was an animator, David Hill Berman. Walt knew he was a communist because he often spent time at the Moscow Art Theater. Disney also let FBI agents go to Disneyland for free and made 3 Mickey Mouse Club TV shows extolling the virtues of the FBI. Number 2. Cast members used to share underwear at Disneyland to keep the illusion that the characters are actually real. The cast members inside the costumes had to wear regulation company-issued underwear. The reason for this is that if you wear your own personal underwear, it would create a visible line which the guests could see. And then they might think that the 7-foot cartoon mouse isn't actually real. At the end of each shift, cast members had to hand in their underwear for washing. However, when they started receiving dirty and smelly underwear at the start of their shifts and contracting nasty conditions like pubic lice and scabies, people started to suspect that these undergarments weren't actually being washed very well. Disney finally declared that while cast members still had to wear uniform underwear, they could take them home to wash them. Number 1. There are abandoned Disney theme parks that cast your mind back to number 4 on our list, the brain-eating parasites and River Country. Well, River Country eventually closed down in 2001. It may have been because of that nasty amoeba, or maybe the guests had stopped coming altogether. But rather than dismantle River Country, Disney just abandoned it, leaving it to rot. The slides, pools, and even the offices are all still there just as they were when the park closed down. Everything is covered in water and moss, and the local wildlife has moved in a big way. The area is heavily guarded by Disney, so the dream of visiting an abandoned water park may have to wait. Another abandoned park is Discovery Island, which isn't far from River Country. It was a nature reserve until Disney closed it down in 1999. Again, it was just left alone, heavily guarded against intruders. Why is Disney hiding these abandoned parks anyway? I guess we'll never know the secret until Disney wants to tell us. Do you know any other dark secrets behind Disney? Also, which secret did you find the darkest? Leave us a comment down below to let us know, and thanks a lot for watching.